Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. This ASMR video today is going to be another coin trivia slash quiz video. I hope you enjoyed the first one. This is another video with a couple more quizzes. I thought they'll be quite interesting to go through. So hopefully you enjoy it. And let me know how many you got right in the comments below. So let's get started. Okay, so the first quiz here we're going to do is the how well do you know your coins change checker quiz. So let's see how many we can get right. Put your knowledge to the test in the change checker quiz. Let's go. Question 1. Who designed the reverse of the Stephen Hawking 50 pence? Now, I'm pretty sure it's not Emma Noble because she did the Peter Rabbit 50p's. Stephen Raw doesn't ring a bell. It might be David Napton, I'm not too sure though. Not 100% sure on that. It's a little bit of a guess between those two, I think. Number 2. How many of Beatrix Potter's characters are featured on a 50 pence coin? So let's have a think then. We've got Peter Rabbit, Flopsy Bunny, we've got Jemima Puddle Duck, Mrs. Ticky Winkle, I think, Jeremy Fisher, so that's 5, Squirrel Nutkin, that's 6, what else have we got? I'm trying to think now. There can't be too many actually. There must be a couple I'm forgetting. Well, I'm going to go with 8 because a few of the years have had repeats of some of those. Yeah, okay. There's Benjamin Bunny as well, I forgot about him. Okay, we'll go 10, just to be on the safe side. Number 3. What quintessentially British thing is celebrated on the M A to Z 10 pence coin? That is a Macintosh. Number 4. Which 50p coin is rumoured to be Queen Elizabeth's favourite? Interesting. I suppose that's a bit subjective, but she's obviously, made some sort of indication previously. Now, I couldn't be 100% sure. Paddington at Buckingham Palace, I think she's probably quite keen on Paddington. I think they did a sketch once with a marmalade sandwich, so I'm going to go with that. Of course, these other ones, she probably very well liked Kew Gardens. I know it's obviously the most well-known and lowest minted coin, but I think in terms of a favourite, it must be Paddington, surely. How many sides does a £1 coin have as of 2016? So that's when they changed the design. I'm pretty sure it's 12. Number 6, what year did the 50p first enter circulation? That was 1969. That was the first year of the 50p. How many Shakespeare £2 coin designs are currently in circulation? I'm fairly sure there's 3. The history coin, the comedy coin, and the tragedy coin. Now, I think that's probably it, so I'm going to go with 3. how many of each 2018 A to Z 10p designs were released into circulation? Now the 2018 range, because there's 2 years there, the 2019 were a much more scarce release, so I'm pretty sure they were 220,000 per coin. It definitely wasn't any of these two. So between those, I'm pretty sure it's 220 though, so I'm going to leave it at that. Number 9, how many variations of the Battle of Britain 50p obverse were there? So there's the standard circulating one, which was the Jodie Clark portrait in 2015. That was the year that the portrait changed from Ian Rank Broadley's 4th to Jodie Clark's 5th. So there's 2 in that year. One was in the annual set, and one was in circulation. Now I'm fairly certain the denomination was included on both of those. However, it was not included for whatever reason, whether it was an error, on the precious metal version. So that was 3, and more recently, in 2019, there was a 50 years of the 50p commemoration set celebration, and it restruck some of the older designs as a 2019 version. So I think that's the other ones. I think that's going to be 4. Yeah, there's definitely no more than 4. We'll leave it at that. Hopefully that's right. And the final question in this one, 10 questions. What is the circulating mintage of the representation of the People Act 50p? Now I'm pretty sure that's quite a common one. 500,000 is obviously very scarce. 3 million, I think that'd still fetch a premium, and this one doesn't. So it's between 5 and 9. I'm pretty sure it's more likely to be 9. Yeah, that's what I'm going to go with, just on gut feeling. So let's see how we did. Right, how well did you do? Check your score to find out which category you fit into. 90 to 100%, you're a numismatic nerd. 50 to 80%, you're a proud change checker. And 40 or less, do you even check your change? Let's see. 80%. So yeah, pretty good there. It was Edouard Ellis for the Stephen Hawking design. I never remember the designers. Every credit to them, but it's very difficult to remember all those names. So yeah, that was a pretty tricky one there. 10 characters on the Beatrix Potters. Yeah, okay, that's good. Macintosh, of course. Right. Queen Elizabeth II's favourite coin is actually Stephen Hawking, so interesting. I only drew the assumption with that one just based on the that campaign they had once, but who would have known? It's actually a very nice design, so can't fault it for that. How many sides for £1? Yeah, 12. 1969, the year of the first year of the 50p, yeah. Shakespeare coins 3, yeah, so I thought that was the case, yeah. A to Z 10p 2018, 220,000 minted, which is alright. I didn't think it would be under the lower ones, it was 220. How many variations of the Battle of Britain 50p? 4. So I wonder how many people actually got that one, because that was probably the trickiest question in the quiz there. And finally, the mintage of the Representation of People Act coin, yeah, 9 million. So I thought it was pretty high. So yeah, that's fair enough. So yeah, 8 out of 10 on the first one. Let's take a look at the second one here. So the second quiz we've got is a Roman quiz. This is £1 coin and banknotes quiz. So, if you think the story of the UK £1 coin started with the introduction of the round pound in 1983, think again. Take our 12-part quiz to test your knowledge about this iconic denomination. Okay, so there might be a little bit more in here that is probably a little bit past my knowledge and my collection, so we might learn something along the way. Okay, so how many sides does the £1 coin have? So yeah, it's 12, we knew that because it was on the previous quiz, but that one was pretty straightforward there. Next up, which year did Henry VIII? Next up, in which year did Henry VII introduce the first sovereign? Okay, so pretty sure it must have been in the 1800s. That seems a little bit far back for me, so wow, 1489, that's quite old, so yeah, never would have thought about that. Who designed the reverse of the UK £1 coin, issued in 1983? So it definitely wasn't Jody Clark. Jody Clark did some more designs more recently. I think Benedetto was perhaps a little bit earlier. Eric Sewell. That rings a bell, so I'm going to go with that one. Yes, it is, that's right. So it's the crown, royal coat of arms, that one. So, who is depicted in Harry Eccleston's reverse design on the final Bank of England £1 banknotes? So I have seen some of these. So it may well tie in with the. It may well tie in with the Queen's love of the Isaac Newton coin, because I'm pretty sure it was Isaac Newton on that. Not 100%, but I don't know who Geoffrey Howe is, but I don't think Margaret Thatcher was on it. Because I think the coin has changed possibly before she came into power, but anyway. Yeah, Isaac Newton. Yeah, I thought it might be the case. I have seen those before, but it's been a while since I've looked at one. How many entries did we receive for our competition to design a reverse of the new UK £1 coin issued in 2017? 5,500, 4,500 and 6,500. Okay, so it's just a bit of a guess really, so it's definitely a lot. Anyway, it's got to be the higher one just because 4.5 seems a bit low, 5.5 is in the middle time. It's tempting to take that one, but it's got to be higher because I remember it being reported that there was so many. Yes, it is, okay. Yeah, so 1 out of 6,500, so I was very lucky. Which year did the Bank of England £1 banknote cease to be legal tender? So it's definitely before 98, 89 or 88, so it's either of those two. It's a bit of a 50-50 one really. It was 83 that the first pound coin was released, so it can't be much long after that, so it's got to be one of those two. I'll go with 89, no idea. Oh, it was 88, okay, well, it's, I thought it was one of those two, so never mind. How did Margaret Thatcher describe the UK £1 coin before it was released in 1983? Okay. Chocolate money. most secure circulating coin anywhere. I doubt it's going to be that one. Just because in the end it was actually very highly forged, which is why they introduced that new design in 2016. Chief coin of the world or chocolate money? I mean, chocolate money would make sense because they have the like brass 2p and 1p coins at Christmas that have the chocolate in with the foil packaging. So perhaps she was maybe referring to that. So I'm gonna go, yeah. Okay, yeah, it was. Maybe that's the reason. I have no idea. That was just a guess. Petrucci designed the obverse and reverse designs for a new sovereign in 1817. So this is stretching my knowledge a bit. Which monarch featured on the obverse of the coin? So it definitely wasn't Victoria. She was after that. She started her reign in the late 1800s, I think. George the Fourth or George the Third. So it's one of those two. I'm pretty sure there was a George the Fifth and George the Sixth after the Queen Victoria. So both of these came before, so it's a bit of a gamble. I'm going to go with the third. I don't know why, but maybe it's because 1817 is a lot of time between that and the reign of Victoria, so it could be the third. Yeah, it is, yeah, okay. When was the first Bank of England £1 banknote introduced? Crikey, I'm not entirely sure on that. I know it's been around for a while, so 1897 is my immediate guess. Definitely since while Victoria was on the throne, so that makes sense for it to be before 1917 because Victoria passed after that. So I'm going to go with this one, but 1797, that's quite far back. Could easily be that one, but I don't know how long it's been going on, so it was 1797. Crikey, that's been going on for a long time. I wonder how many examples of the first £1 banknotes still exist then, so it'd be interesting to find out. Who struck the first UK £1 coin when production began in 1982? Okay. Something tells me it's not the Queen or Philip, because I remember hearing about it, reading about this at some point with it being the Prince of Wales, which I think was that not King Charles in his former post? Possibly, I don't know. Not sure about the royals. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it wasn't these two because I'm sure I read somewhere about that, so it must be that one. Yeah, okay. I was a bit lucky. Okay, which coin replaced the sovereign during the reign of James I? Britannia, the Unity, the Guinea. I've heard of the Guinea. I've not heard of those two, to be honest. Which coin replaced the sovereign? Well, they still mint sovereigns today, so it obviously replaced it, but it was then discontinued, possibly. Which leads me to believe it's one of these because this was still being used in the 1900s, 1800s. So I don't know. I definitely heard of that, so it can't be that one because let's say the sovereign's still. Sure, the sovereign still ran alongside the Guinea, so it's one of these. I'm gonna go Britannia. I have no idea. The Uniting, I don't know what that is. That's a bit before my time with the collection I've got, so you can't fault me for not knowing that one. I'd be interested to know if any of you got that right, actually. which pre-decimal UK coin had 12 sides. Now I'm pretty sure the 3p did, but you can see it there, so it's a bit of a giveaway actually. Not sure why they put this picture. Yeah, 3p did, because it's been the new 2016 onwards £1 coin was modelled on this, I believe. So yeah, it must be. So how do we do? 8 out of 12. Fair enough, that wasn't too bad, I suppose. There was a few in there that were far out of my depth, really. That, it's very difficult, and a few 50-50s in there which could have gone either way, so it's what it is. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed. So thanks for watching. It was not a disaster, I suppose. I didn't do too badly, a bit respectable considering a few of the questions were, out of my scope. So hopefully you found that useful and interesting, and maybe you learned something. So as always, if there's anything else you'd like to see on the channel, or any other quizzes that you'd like me to take, then just let me know. And until then, I'll see you in the next video.